The twin suns had barely crested the hills when Eli Carter stepped onto his porch, coffee steaming in his hand and dust already curling in the wind. Out here, on the far edge of the Varelian frontier, humans didn't get many visitors. His ranch was quiet, just the low hum of drones herding grazers, the creak of wooden rails, and the faint, rhythmic sound of his alien maid humming while tending the hydra tanks. Her name was Sarah, a Zenthari, small and silver-skinned, with wide green eyes that shimmered when she laughed, though she didn't laugh often. She had arrived 3 months ago from the city labor hub, barely speaking Galactic standard. Eli had taken her in, not because he needed help, but because she looked like she needed saving. That morning, though, something was different. Eli watched from the porch as Sarah limped across the yard, clutching a small crate of nutrient packs. Her gait was uneven, jerky. The usual fluid grace of her species was gone. When she noticed him watching, she froze. "You hurt," Eli called out. Sarah shook her head too quickly. "No, Master Carter. Just step wrong." Eli frowned. "Ain't buying that." He set his mug down and strode toward her. She tried to turn, but her leg buckled, and the crate spilled. He caught her before she hit the dirt. When he pulled her pant leg up, he saw it. Deep bruising, a jagged burn mark near her ankle, glowing faintly blue under the sun. Not mechanical, not natural either. Some kind of energy discharge. "What did this?" he asked quietly. Sarah hesitated, then whispered, "Sheriff's men." Eli's jaw tightened. The alien sheriff, Krivak, ran the sector with an iron claw. Officially, he enforced peace between species. Unofficially, his deputies collected workers who disobeyed their contracts. "Why?" Eli asked. I cleaned the water tanks late," she said, trembling. "He said I was lazy. They come last night. Said I must be reminded who owns me." The words hit Eli harder than a plasma bolt. "Owns you," he repeated, voice low. "You're not property." Sarah shook her head helplessly. "But law says Zenthari bond labor is." "I don't care what your law says." Eli's tone was steel. "Not on my land." He helped her inside, cleaned the wound, and wrapped it in synthband. Sarah winced but didn't speak. When she finally looked up, tears welled in her bright green eyes. "You should not anger them," she whispered. "Sheriff Krivak has power. Even humans fear him." Eli poured himself another cup of coffee, hand steady though his blood boiled. "He'll find out soon enough what kind of human I am." By sunset, a dust storm brewed over the plain. Eli prepped his old hover truck, loading a few energy cells, a medkit, and an old Winchester plasma rifle from the days when humans still fought for a place on alien soil. Sarah followed him to the door, clutching her wrap. "Where are you going?" she asked softly. "To town," Eli said. "Gonna have a word with your sheriff." "No," she cried. "Please." "They'll kill you." Eli gave a half smile. "They'll try." He drove through the storm, grit rattling against the windshield. Viral's moons were rising when he rolled into town. The streets were empty. Most folks knew to be indoors after dark. Sheriff Krivak's headquarters glowed like a scar, neon lights and steel walls rising from the dust. 2 reptilian deputies stood at the gate. "State your business," one hissed. Eli climbed out, dusting off his coat. "Name's Carter. I'm here about a worker you beat." The deputy sneered. "Not your concern, human. Go home before." The butt of Eli's rifle cracked across its jaw before the alien finished. The other reached for a blaster, but Eli shot first. Blue plasma seared through the night, throwing the guard backward into the wall. The smell of scorched ozone filled the air. Eli stepped over them, pushing into the sheriff's hall. Krivak was waiting. Tall, armored, with scales that shimmered like molten iron. His eyes narrowed at the sight of the human. "You've made a mistake, rancher," he rumbled. "This is my jurisdiction." "You burned her leg," Eli said. "That's my jurisdiction." Krivak's grin showed rows of sharp teeth. "You forget yourself. The Zenthari belong to the Labor Council. Their punishment is lawful." Eli's jaw tightened. "Your law's filth." Krivak chuckled, his tail flicking. "You think one human with an old rifle can defy the council?" Eli aimed the barrel square at his chest. "I don't need the council. Just need justice." Krivak moved fast, too fast. His clawed hand slammed Eli's shoulder, sending him crashing into a console. Sparks flew. The rifle clattered across the floor. "You should have stayed on your ranch," Krivak growled, advancing. Eli spat blood, then yanked a metal lever beside him. The overhead lights dimmed, power rerouted. Krivak hesitated as the hum of the energy cells deepened. "Forgot to mention," Eli said through gritted teeth. "I used to be a colony engineer." The floor buckled as a surge from the generator rippled through the wiring. The overload burst, throwing Krivak off balance. Eli dove for his rifle, rolled, and fired point-blank. Plasma hit Krivak square in the chest, sending the sheriff crashing into the wall. The room fell silent except for the buzz of dying lights. Eli stood over the smoldering alien, chest heaving. "Law or not," he said, "nobody hurts someone under my roof." He turned and walked out into the night. When Eli returned home, the first light of dawn painted the horizon. Sarah was waiting by the door, limping but alert. When she saw him, relief flooded her features. "You came back," she whispered. He nodded. "Krivak won't bother you again." Her eyes widened. "What did you do?" "Let's just say the sheriff had a change of heart." She stared at him a long moment, then bowed slightly in Zenthari fashion, a deep, graceful gesture of respect. "No one ever fought for me before. Then maybe it's about time someone did." Over the next few days, word spread across the frontier. The human rancher who defied the alien sheriff. Some called him insane, others called him brave. But to the laborers, especially the Zenthari, he became something more. Within a week, 2 more alien workers escaped and showed up at Eli's ranch, asking for shelter. He didn't turn them away. He expanded the barn, reprogrammed the drones to protect rather than herd, and built a small sanctuary out in the hills. Sarah helped, her limps slowly fading. One evening, as they watched the sun set, she turned to him. "The council will come," she said. "They'll see this as rebellion." Eli nodded. "Maybe. But every rebellion starts somewhere." She smiled faintly. "You are strange, human. You fight when logic says to hide." Eli looked out over the horizon. "Maybe that's why we survived on a dozen alien worlds. We don't always think, we feel. And sometimes feeling's enough to change everything." The council did come, 3 ships landing near his ranch 2 weeks later. Soldiers marched out, their armor gleaming. The lead officer demanded surrender. Eli stood on his porch, rifle in hand, flanked by Sarah and the others. "This land's mine," he said. "No slaves here." The officer laughed. "You think your kind can stand against us?" Eli cocked his rifle. "Try me." The first shot came from the council side, but it never reached him. A bright shimmer pulsed across the field, a Zenthari defense net. Dozens of alien laborers appeared from the dunes, armed with stolen tools and scavenged blasters. They had come from nearby farms, drawn by whispers of the human who defied the sheriff.